Welcome back to the Gridiron Report. I'm Manny Navarro, joined once again by Herald High School sports writer Andre Fernandez here on the beautiful campus of Booker T. Washington High School. Dre, let's look ahead to week 2 of the regular season here. Let's start with a good matchup, I think. Hialeah versus Southwest, at Southwest actually, Friday on Southwest campus.
Yeah, pretty interesting matchup. Two potential playoff teams. Southwest still looks pretty good. They got those two playmakers, Dre Pickett-White, Trayvon Sands. But they have a good group around them, and I think that more than just those two players this year. This is going to be a tough challenge. I know they've got the home field on the hot afternoon sun at 3:30, but Hialeah is going to come in. They have a huge offensive line this year. Obviously, one of the more talented, versatile quarterbacks in Alan Edward, who happened to reopen his recruiting this week.
Right, decommitted from Miami.
Decommitted from the Canes. Henry Bussey, though, running back, might be one of the better ones in Dade County. It doesn't get talked about a lot. I remember he started his career in Broward, has come over and given them some offense. I think I'm going to go with Hialeah in this one, but Southwest is going to be a playoff team later in the year.
All right, Champignon taking on Westminster Christian. This is a 4 p.m. kickoff. Dre, this is like the small school championship game.
It's the battle of let's prove ourselves, small school teams. I mean, Westminster has made a lot of improvements this year. They think they're a 3A state title contender. They think they're better than Chaminade, better than Delray Heritage. Well, this is the time to start proving it right here. Even more goes for Champignon. We know they've had some talented teams in the past, and they've underachieved. So far, they came out and beat Doral by 40 last week. But that's Doral. This is going to be a lot harder on the road at Westminster in the afternoon sun again. This is a 2A title contender versus 3A title contender. All right, let's see if you really both are title contenders. I think Westminster wins this one, but close. It's going to be an exciting matchup, though. All
right, Cardinal Gibbons at Everglades, 7 o'clock Friday. Talk about that game.
Yeah, Gibbons has done really well. I mean, we talked about them in the other segment that, their offense is really strong. They're coming along. They're trying to upend either Jackson or Heritage this year in that district, which isn't going to be easy. But I see them putting up a lot of points, getting a lot of wins. Everglades with Coach Art Taylor, they started off well. They won the first game, but they're a little bit behind where Gibbons is right now. It's going to take some time to get to that level, so I'm going to go with Gibbons in this one.
All right, the game I'm going to be at Friday, Boyd Anderson at Cypress Bay. Of course, this is the game Mark Wandola will not be coaching in. He's going to be suspended for this one for Cypress Bay. Boyd Anderson didn't look too good last week.
No, I mean, they're a young team right now. They've struggled a little bit. I think it's going to take some time for those guys to get on the same page, to get everything going. So that's why I think Cypress Bay, right now Cypress Bay is motivated. I'm sure the players want to win this one for their coach, especially the coaching staff. Everybody down there is inspired. It's the first game of the season, really, because they've had 2 weeks off to recover from that Heritage loss in many ways. And I think they'll be all right. They'll come out. They'll win this game close. But BA down the road will get its act together.
All right, now we get to the nitty-gritty here. 2 top 20 teams. Carroll City taking on South Dade down at Harris Field this week. Talk about this one.
Yeah, South Dade is going to be a lot better this year. It surprised me a little bit that they were that close with Columbus. Probably should have lost the game. But Carroll City, that's the story I think so far. I think they're going to be one of the most improved teams overall in South Florida. You saw them. Trayon
impressed with that defense.
The defense especially, the linebackers. Trayon Gray looks like he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the county. So I think they are able to have enough to get down there to Harris Field, not worry about the elements, and pull out a victory.
All right, 2 of the biggest games of the week. Obviously, this one's always big down in the Southwest Kendall area. Belen and Columbus, Saturday night, 6 o'clock. You're going to be there.
That's an event. I mean, guarantee you'll have close to 10,000 or more probably at FIU, especially being on a Saturday. The last few years it's been on a Friday. Let's see what kind of a big crowd turns out on a Saturday night when no one's working,
That after Canes Gators, too.
And especially after Canes Gators. That ought to be interesting. But I think Columbus has owned this rivalry for a reason. The thing that they seem to always do is to wear down Belen by the second half, and they seem to still have that type of team, especially up front on both sides of the ball, and I see it happening. Belen is going to be going to have a chance to get to the playoffs again this year. But the Explorers, I think, keep owning this thing.
I agree with you. All right, the biggest game of the year. Booker T. Washington Central, number 1, number 2 in the country. Talk about this one.
I mean, we could film an hour talking about this game. I mean, if we broke it down. But since we only have a minute or so, let me just real quick say that this is, to me, people have been saying I'm a little premature on Twitter, saying that this is the national championship game. But honestly, I can't see the winner of this game losing. At least they shouldn't down the road, because there's so much talent in this game. This is going to be one of the, as far as matchups go, hopefully it lives up to being one of the best games that we've ever covered in this county. You talk about special playmakers, Joe Yearby, Dalvin Cook, but Central's defense, Central's offensive line, they're just so complete, and they can wear you down with that running game. Booker T, on the other hand, can light it up like no other. They have so much speed everywhere. Treon Harris has really come along as a quarterback, not an athlete, as a quarterback. And, I mean, it's so hard to pick that it came down to, I think, last night, late at night, for me to say this, but I think the running game and the fact that just Dalvin and Joe, they're going to use them every which way they can. And I think that's what gives them a tiny edge in this game.
I agree with you. I think the size is going to ultimately be the ultimate factor here. All right, for Andre, I'm Manny Navarro. We'll see you next week.